Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here today with us. On behalf of Colonel Julie Bolton, Commander of the Los Angeles District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, welcome to our Flood Risk Management and Coastal Emergencies Flood Fighting Exercise, in which we will team with the California National Guard's Army Aviation Support Facility No. 1 at the Joint Forces Training Base Los Alamitos to place super sandbags in response to a notional levee breach. I am Dave Kingston, the Chief of Emergency Management Branch, Los Angeles District. The Los Angeles District and the California National Guard both execute a robust exercise program to ensure we are ready to respond to any emergency. In this case, the California National Guard is notionally responding to a request from our district, but they can and have responded to state and local requests for support in response to emergencies. I would like to now introduce our distinguished visitors. Mr. Hector Elizalde, Deputy District Director, Congresswoman Napolitano's office. Mr. Keith Lilly, Los Angeles County Department of Public Works, Stormwater Planning. Mr. James Treadaway, Director, Orange County Public Works. Mr. Kevin Onuma, Orange County Public Works Facilities Maintenance and Central Unit Facility. Mr. Robert Demerit, Riverside County Special Projects Assistant Engineer. Mr. Robbie Clark, San Bernardino County Flood Control Operations Division. And Mr. Aaron Gross, Chief Resilience Officer, Office of the Mayor, City of Los Angeles, and the Chair of the city's task force to update the city's floodplain management plan. Before we conduct the exercise, I would like to briefly cover some key items to include some basic safety procedures. After this, Colonel Bolton will provide welcoming comments, followed by Captain John Gomez, Commander, Company B, 1st Battalion, 140th Aviation Assault Regiment, 40th Combat Aviation Brigade, California National Guard, who will briefly describe the missions and capabilities of the California National Guard to respond to any flood fighting emergencies. I will then provide an overview of the actual exercise. As in everything we do, safety is always of paramount importance. Therefore, I would like to cover some items to ensure your safety. First, we are in a COVID-19 environment. Social distancing and wearing masks are thus required. Second, we have provided eye and hearing protection. We ask that you wear goggles and hearing protection and the optional N95 mask during the exercise. And for those of you that didn't see that, we have those on a table to our rear, and our SESI is from our safety office is back there. Finally, we have coordinated with county law enforcement as well as with members of the Federal Protective Service to secure this site. In the highly unlikely event that an incident occurs that requires us to immediately depart this location, the emergency exit directions are as follows. South on the golf course access ramp, south along the driving range to a rally point, and then the emergency evacuation rally point is the parking lot south of the clubhouse. Mr. Glenn Tucker, to my rear, our Chief of Security and Law Enforcement, will lead us to the rally point should we need to rapidly exit this location. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Colonel Julie Bolton, Commander, Los Angeles District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you, David. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As David said, I'm Colonel Julie Bolton, Commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Los Angeles District. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Los Angeles District's Flood Control and Coastal Emergency Super Sandbag Placement Exercise in partnership with the California National Guard. I'd like to extend another warm welcome to all the distinguished guests here today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and join us today on this great opportunity with our partnership with the National Guard. I especially want to thank the soldiers with the California Army National Guard's Army Aviation Support Facility Number 1, based out of Los Alamitos, training base in Los Alamitos, for their participation in today's event. This exercise would not be possible without you. This brings me to the purpose of why we are here today. This exercise is first and foremost about partnerships. Partnering with other local, state, and federal agencies like the California National Guard and all of you here in the audience to ensure public safety during flood event or emergency. Although today's demonstration is a mock scenario, we never know when we will need to respond to a real-world event. The Corps does this often, deploying every year in support of disaster response during floods, hurricanes, and other disasters worldwide, as many of you see on the news right now down in Louisiana and other parts of the country. The California National Guard does this as well, most recently assisting the state in its fight against the California wildfires. And that effort is a Herculean effort, and we really thank them for their ability to come and help us support today in the midst of all that is going on with the wildfires here in California. During any emergency, human life and safety are always our priority. The potential for a significant flooding event in California is always a concern, especially during our unpredictable rainy season. The Los Angeles District's response to flooding events throughout Southern California, Arizona, and portions of Nevada and Utah. The importance in responding to any disaster, whether man-made or natural, is to coordinate early and often with our other agencies before an emergency happens. This is another reason why we are here today, to demonstrate the Corps and the National Guard's joint flood fighting capabilities and what other agencies can accomplish when we work together. This collaboration provides the opportunity to not only understand the assets at our disposal, but to also build upon common objectives, synchronize our flood fighting efforts, improve how we communicate those efforts to the public, and ultimately improve our disaster response capabilities within the region. In closing, the Corps is always prepared and ready to respond to any natural and man-made disaster. We look forward to working with our federal, state, and local partners to keep residents safe. We are prepared to provide this response as we enter a new flood season in Southern California. Now please join me in welcoming Captain John Gomez, Commander of Company B, 1st Assault Helicopter Battalion, 140th Aviation Regiment, 40th Combat Aviation Brigade. Thanks again, John, for being here.
Sure. Thank you, Colonel Bolton, and your team for all your hospitality. We have all benefited greatly from coordinating and working together on this exercise. Good morning, distinguished visitors, ladies and gentlemen. Captain John Gomez, Commander of Bravo Company, 1st of the 140th Assault Helicopter Battalion out of Los Alamitos. I am honored today to represent the California Army National Guard's aviation assets. Our organization takes great pride in serving our community and being able to respond when called upon. A big part of our mission is to provide relief during emergencies and support our neighbors during these difficult times. As aviation, we are a unique asset that provides a hard-to-find solution to these complex problems. My team at Joint Forces Training Base, Los Alamitos, and all the Cal Guard trains regularly throughout the year with the Army Corps of Engineers, with Cal OES, Cal Fire, and the United States Forest Service, just to list a few, in order to ensure this unity of effort. Our exercise today helps ensure a safe and expedient response when we are called upon in real-world emergencies. Our UH-60 Blackhawk is an excellent fit for this exercise. The Blackhawk has a lift capacity of up to 9,000 pounds, and we can carry 11 or more passengers as the situation calls for. Everyone here has worked very hard. My team and I at Joint Forces Training Base Los Alamitos are grateful for the opportunity to refine our relationships with our community and our fellow response agencies. Our aviators and support personnel have relevant and recent expertise that we are very happy to integrate with the Army Corps of Engineers. Thank you again for having us. Joint Forces Training Base Los Alamitos and the California National Guard take great pride in being ready and able to respond during emergencies. We are honored to serve our community and grateful for the opportunity to train with our partners here at the Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you, Captain Gomez, for those great comments. And again, it is a privilege for us to be able to work with the California National Guard. I would like to now describe to you what you will be seeing during the execution of the exercise. But first, I want to briefly describe the district's flood risk management system that, in conjunction with local flood risk management systems, provides protection to the greater Los Angeles area. We operate 7 dams and 42 miles of federal levees as part of the greater Los Angeles area flood risk management system. Our robust operations and maintenance program ensures that our dams and levees are fully capable to perform to their design criteria. Whittier Narrows Dam, where you are currently located, is a great example of this. However, we do need to be prepared to respond to the highly unlikely events in which flooding could occur. The scenario we are using for this exercise is that a breach has occurred in the weir located directly to your front. One of the many items we have in our flood fighting inventory is the super sandbag. In this scenario, the water is rushing through the breach in such a manner that placing the super sandbags by ground is impossible. Therefore, we have coordinated through the California Office of Emergency Services for helicopter support from the California National Guard to place the super sandbags to plug the breach in the weir. Again, this is an example of a breach in a federal system, but the National Guard can also respond to a breach in a state or local flood risk management structure. Each super sandbag is filled with approximately 1 cubic yard of sand and weighs approximately 3,000 pounds. As Captain Gomez mentioned, the UH-60 helicopter that will fly this mission has the capacity to lift up to 9,000 pounds. For this exercise, the National Guard will place a total of 4 super sandbags to plug the breach. After the exercise, we will be available to answer your questions, but I will pause now for any questions prior to continuing with the exercise. Does anyone have any questions that we can answer before the exercise? All right, that means we did a great job. Without further ado, then, we're going to begin the exercise. Okay, if we could have the helicopter crew come on over here to the podium where you could use the microphone in case, I'm sure that there's going to be some questions or people want to come up and just chat with you. That way you can use the microphone and they can hear what you have to say. All right, who's got the first question for this great crew that flew this mission this morning? Who's got the first question? Go ahead.
Yeah, very super impressive. Great to see that the United States doing. I saw 3 people that I can note pilots with that 260. But I see 6 of you here now. 6 of you in the copter at the same time?
Negative. There was 4 of us in the aircraft. We had 2 people on the ground connecting the swing boats to the aircraft.
Okay, and yeah, feel free to come up to the mic here, Chief. You know, and use the mic. But yeah, the question is like, how many were members of on the aircraft and how many were on the ground? So maybe just repeat it there.
Yeah, no worries. So in the aircraft, we have 2 pilots up front, and we have 2 crew members in the aft of the aircraft, where they're in constant visual confirmation with the crew on the ground, as well as relaying information to us. They're talking us through each moment, any movement that we have to do to connect safely to the load, and they're in direct communication with the crew members on the ground. So we have 2 guys on the ground, 1 to connect the aircraft and 1 to, as a safety personnel, to remove him from the situation if anything goes wrong. Luckily today went smoothly and everything went great. Any other questions?
All right, who's got the next question?
Sir?
Yes.
I guess I don't know how to ask the question, but how much harder is it if there's trying to place a bag on ground that is not flat and dry? If there's rushing water, how do you manage that?
Well, luckily today, it's just a kind of a dry run. We're able to put on the ground. We're actually able to put it precisely where we need to do it. If this was an actual emergency and we actually were dropping it onto running water, we probably would not submerge the bag into the water. We'd probably get above it to where we feel that we're in a good place on the LZ. We'd probably drop it from the air and let it fall into place. So we would not risk the helicopter putting the bag into the water. Any other questions?
All right, we got to have at least one more question. Come on, one more. Who's got it? Well, I got one. Are you guys actually? Are you and your crew actually responding to the wildfire missions right now?
Yes, currently we've been fighting fires for almost 2 months now, and so we've had, I think we've flown close to 400 hours on the fires. We've had multiple crews assigned to it, and some of the members here have actually been on the fires, and they're constantly rotating us out due to crew rest restraints and stuff like that. But yes, we do currently have aircraft on the fires, and we've been doing this concurrently with other operations.
All right, super. Well, again, I just want to say thanks, Chief, and the rest of your crew for taking the time to support this mission. I know just how busy you are. You have both state and federal missions, too. You can actually deploy on federal missions. And
Absolutely.
I think some of you might be doing that, right? So I just wanted to, on behalf of Colonel Bolton, again, just say thanks for doing what you're doing. Thanks for supporting this exercise. It's a great relationship that we've started. We're going to keep it going. And I just want to say thanks. Does anyone have any final questions or comments? All right.
Well, thank you very much for having us. And like I said, the California National Guard stands ready to help you guys with any of the local needs. Thank you.
Can I just get your name, sir?
Hey, Chief.
Chief?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Oh, I missed your name. I missed your name.
My name is Brandon Field.
Brandon Fields.
All right. Well, that concludes the exercise, except for we probably still have some more refreshments. If anyone wants to grab some of those, feel free to do that. And if anyone still has any questions you want to talk on the side, I'm here. Colonel Bolton and others are here. But other than that, that concludes the exercise, and we can get the DVs, the DV vans up here, and we can start shuttling back, I think.